Okay.
Happy Monday, friends. It is a day to celebrate that feeling of thank God it's Friday, right? Thank
I
God
always get surprised when you say, Monday or whatever day. I'm like, why do I get surprised? I'm like, is it really Monday? What?
Isn't it
What
great to
a.
not know what day it is? We love this life.
Well, I think everybody got to experience it last year, very much so. It was
Right.
yesterday, today, or tomorrow, and those were like, how simple was life back then?
True. Why wear a watch? Just go with the flow. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, what are we talking
But
about today, Rita?
Well, you can't go with the flow because something bad might happen. That means you're not being responsible. That means you're, focusing on what? Where's your attention at?
If you went with the flow, you might get lazy.
Yeah, you might get lazy.
Might get nothing done. You might be a bad daughter or son, sitting on the couch doing nothing, not getting your
So, so today's topic that we're bringing to you is how to pay attention and get out of your funk and feel happy again. So, in our one of our coaching calls, we were talking about HDHD. How we.
ADHD.
What is it?
ADHD.
What did I
Attention,
say?
attention deficit disorder.
Oh, I did I put it?
Hyperactivity disorder.
Okay, so you know what I'm saying. What? Say it again. HD.
ADHD.
ADHD. AD. Thank God I don't have that. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
really.
So we were able to flip it. We have a whole story of what it is, what we can't, what we're limited because of this processing system. To us, it's just a processing system. For us in brain training, in the modality that we were trained in, it's just a coping mechanism. Uh, uh, ADHD is a
Yes,
coping
that's
mechanism
right.
that your brain you're unconsciously created so you can survive in the environment that you lived in the environment that you grew up with, the people around you, or even now I know we have even adults are having an onset of that. And so when you're stressed, what does your body do, Tammy? What does your body do when you're
Well,
stressed?
I might be labeled ADHD if I went to the doctor. Like I like to sit on a ball. I like to move. I like to be. And so some of what this is all about is really how when my brain is bored, I'm like, "Oh, I got to be doing something." And why do I got to be doing something is because that was the way I saw my parents. Both of them highly hard workers, highly active, highly driven people to move, okay? Not people to sit around much. That's not in my background. So now I have a whole program based on we are the people that get up and move. In order to get something done, you have to move. You have to be fast. You have to hurry up or something's going to happen. I don't know what.
I think that's just how we grew up. I think as parents, we're like, hurry up. Like, time
Stress.
is always, a pressure thing. Even when you're in the toilet, how many of you heard other people telling their kids, hurry up? They're in the toilet doing a process that really can't control, because when you gotta go, you gotta go. And then the parents like, hurry up, hurry up. It's like,
Oh,
wow. So
yes.
this so attention deficit hyper.
Activity
Oh,
disorder.
what is it?
Hyperactivity disorder, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And then there's just attention deficit disorder without the hyperactivity. So that child that just can't focus, that adult that's just like can't get anything done. Right. Your mind has used this coping mechanism to distract itself. And it's probably all around this fear of you're going to get in trouble if you don't hurry up. You're going to get in trouble if you do what you like to do. You're going to get in trouble when you're passionate about something and it doesn't look like it's valuable to.
Right. Oh, or you're gonna miss out.
Yeah. Oh, sure. You're going to miss out. If you don't
Yeah.
get there, you're not going to this birthday party. If you're not dressed, you're not. Right. So all of these, and these are the programs that are just running in the background of your brain. You're not aware of them, but that's how come you feel that feeling of, like for me, it's like, oh no, like this freeze, this gripping, this sensation to move or die.
Yeah, and you know, I found a memory that was supporting that kind of behavior for me, and the memory was, you know, in the fourth grade, Miss Costello asked me what I was doing, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything, you know, and she's all, that's the problem, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to be doing stuff. So for me to like sit in a room by myself quietly was what. I did not feel natural. It was not a good thing.
It
Now
feels
I've
like
learned
something's wrong, right?
exactly.
And notice how, like, so this is what's so cool when as Rita's telling the story, so we see people that are hyperactive and we're just like, knock it off. Like, how come you're so hyper? What's wrong with you? But then when you hear the background story, you're just like, oh, that little child is just being herself, and then she's getting in trouble for it. Like, now you have this whole understanding that stems from something that is true, right?
Yeah.
And then what do we do about this memory? How does it change?
What we do is we flip it, we switch it, and we make it better again. You know, and this is the miracle of neuroplasticity and brain training. And we know that our brain is plastic. We know that we can update, rewire, release, you know, traumas. We know that we can rewrite the story, you know. So instead of, maybe it's me being the teacher and telling kids, you know, you're doing it wrong.
Right. That's what happens, right? We go and we do that to someone else. And that's because a program is like a computer. It's solidified. It's like a computer. You push 2 + 2 equals 6, or you create the program that 2 + 2 equals 6. It's always going to tell you that. And so now you start acting the what you saw, what you heard, what you felt. You start acting that out to other people, or you do the opposite and become this little squirrel that can't sit still, right? There's
Squirrel.
There's these options that happen. So what I found most interesting, and somebody was just telling me that we're like, there's only 50 of us level 4 eutaptic certified practitioners in the world. And what's so exciting about that is just because I feel like I'm at the forefront of something that's incredible that changed my life. And the reason it changed my life is because I didn't know why I kept acting this way. I knew I had this anxiety. I knew I had this stress. I knew I had, like, time is not on my side. And I didn't know why. I was looking for why. If I knew why it happened, I would change it. I would be like, I'm ready. I'm willing. I'm like, tell me how and I'll do it. Just tell me how. And so finding this was the key. And so finding out, like, you might be sitting here going, yeah, but how do I know what memories actually are causing this?
Yeah.
We know how to do that for you. That's what took us years to learn. And then we know how to adjust it so your subconscious automatically changes that visual and the movie that's playing in the back of your mind, and the sensations that are going on in your body, and all of those sounds, those voices, those things that you're like, I just keep hearing, you're not good enough. I just keep hearing, what's wrong with you? I just keep hearing, how come you can't ever do it right? Those voices, we know how to change them by a logical process. Okay,
Right.
biological process that the brain already works this way. It already
Right.
updates. It already works that way. All we're doing is helping to shift it so it works for you, right?
Yeah, it reminds me of a story where my toddler, he was 2 years old, and he was, oh no, the kids were older. They were like 7, 8, and I'm not having a good time with them right now. I'm like probably yelling and being, you know, expecting and highly emotionally intelligent,
Exactly.
not a bit. And the phone rings, and I'm like, oh, hello. Oh, hi, how's it going? Blah, 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 blah. So we can switch, guys. And then I hang up the phone, and my little Jared goes,
You guys.
that was weird. And I was like, what part was weird? And I replayed that event, and I was like, that is weird. That
Yeah.
you're like this hostile environment for, you know, yourself and other people, and then all of a sudden you get a phone call, or your loved one comes in, or someone comes in, and you're like, like you just pep up. So we
Right.
can switch things. We can flip things. We have the
Absolutely.
mechanisms.
That's right. If we acted like a camera was on us all the time, we could start to actually create those patterns in our brain so that was automatic. And
Yeah.
then you would always be that way. And that's what we kind of give the shortcut to. So ADHD, we want to flip it so that it means abundantly deserving and dignified, highly devoted to serving me. And you might have a problem, like I would have had a problem with serving me. Like that feels selfish, like a shellfish. That feels every time I hear the word selfish, my brain now says shellfish, and I love shellfish. I love the ocean. So now the emotion isn't held in that word any longer, and I can serve myself. But here's what we were talking about. If you're a depraved soul, if you're you're ADHD and that makes you feel bad and you're so sad that you have this diagnosis that you can't sit still and you can't focus. And if you feel bad about that and you're not deserving to be highly devoted to serving yourself, are you able to do anything for anybody else from that position? Who are you when you're not deserving? Who are you when you're not devoted to yourself? Can you raise other people up, Rita, in that state?
No.
Right.
You know that you've heard it said, put the mask on before you can help the other people. So we have to be responsible for what happens inside of us.
Yeah. And that's so powerful because that means when I'm just serving myself and I'm in a good mood and I'm happy and I'm feeling energized and I'm feeling focused to change the world, which is what I want to do. I want to make a difference. I want to give to people what they're looking for. Like I was looking for it.
Right.
So we want to work with people that are they're like, just tell me how and I'll do it.
Right.
That's who I was. Just tell me how. That's who Rita was. Like, gosh, we're looking for answers.
Right.
And we want to help you have those answers so that you can do it for yourself. And then who are you to the world?
Yeah.
So I hope that you get this. Devoted to serving you means that everyone else is automatically affected for the good, for the betterment. Because now from that higher, they call it a higher vibration, the vibration of love, the vibration of self-care, the vibration of doing good things for yourself comes out on other people.
Yeah, and I think, Tammy, sometimes it is counterintuitive because of old programs. And this is what we actually rewrite and we flip. These old programs are like, you're selfish. You only think about yourself. Your little brother needed this. Your mom needed that, And you're like, what? Like you would get in trouble because you thought, you'd be called narcissist because you said, no, I don't want to attend or be with this whatever. You would, and no, everyone's afraid of that because socially we supposedly need people.
Right. Yes. Well,
we are the people.
Right. And to not think about somebody else. Okay. If you're an overthinker, I am going to suggest that you highly look at the memories where you were told, don't you think about them? Don't you think about them? Because now you've got this program where your brain you're just overthinking constantly. You're like, help me get out of this. Like you're drowning under your own thoughts, right? So it is counterproductive. It's not counterproductive. It's counterintuitive to what you've learned. But as soon as I learned that serving me is serving others, that set me free. And now I no longer need to be considering myself. Am I selfish? No, because every time I feel good, every time I am happy, every time I am joyful, that comes out on others. What I'm doing inside of myself is showing up to the world, and they feel better because of it. And that's their choice. They can feel better by it, or they can feel bad. Either way, I'm still going to show up as the person that is bringing goodness.
Yeah. So can you say the acronym again?
Yes. Abundantly deserving and dignified, highly devoted to serving me.
Highly devoted.
And I love the word devoted because, it's not a deficit. You're devoted to what you're passionate about. You already are. If you find a passion, the ADHD people are the ones who are the Einsteins, the Thomas Bell. They're the people that are highly devoted to their passion. But what happened was your passion got skewed by what others wanted for you.
Yeah.
And then you had to develop a coping skill to completely be diverting your attention because you're really not that interested in what you're doing. And so now it's become a program and a brain program that can be changed.
Yes. Good job. Thank you.
Yes.
This is it, guys. Use that acronym. You make a new acronym. If you have if you have ADHD, just give it a new meaning. If you're highly devoted to yourself, that's even better. If you're abundantly, what was it again?
Deserving.
I like accountability, appreciation, dignity, diligence, hope, humility, honesty, determination. You can make your own meaning of those words and then live into them so you can be empowered.
Yeah. So as soon as you feel like, oh, I'm ADHD, instead of thinking bad about it and how it's not serving you, you use this new acronym to prove to yourself that this is for your benefit. And if it's all for your benefit, you feel good, that raises your vibration, and you can be passionate and focused. I know you can because I do it. I know you can because I do it. All right. Perfect. Well, we love you and hope this brought you a lot of value. We'd love to hear your acronym. We want to hear how you are rewriting what's been called a deficit for you, because we know the people that take their deficits, people that are born without a leg or arm. I mean, how many people are super impressive because they had a deficit and they turned it into their advantage? Don't you want to be that kind of player? Don't you want to be that kind of what did we call it? Dreamer. Don't you want to be that kind of dreamer? That's the person that inspires somebody else. So use it to your advantage. There's no reason you can't.
Very good.
Bye-bye.